Hello, I'm back on the Hadrian's Wall route, and today I'm planning to walk from Rigg to Chollerford. And in order to do this journey, I've actually driven to Chollerford today, and I'm hoping to pick up a bus in a few minutes from Chollerford back to the Sill, which is a short walk to Rigg. Um, I've been told the bus comes here near this location. I can see a bus behind me, but I'm assuming it's not that one. So I hope I'm in the right location. If I'm not, I've got a very long wait to the next bus. So if you use Google, it'll tell you that the bus goes from the George Hotel. Well, the George Hotel is actually behind me. So you want to be near the cafe, which is opposite the George Hotel. Apparently this is the pickup point. So I've just got off the bus and just popped into the Sill, which is where the bus stopped. Never been here before. Fairly new visitor centre attraction. Information about the geography and geology of this area, I think. So they've got a roof walk here. Nice cafe, shop. Nice place to stop. There's another bus coming in as well. Bus was really convenient. £2 single to get here. Took 25 minutes maybe. Much cheaper than last time where I had to park at Rigg car park and it cost me £10 for the day, and managed to park in the lay-by at Chollerford. So good value to use the bus if you can manage it. And this is walking on the roof of the Sill. I think it only opened about 2 or 3 years ago. Very modern centre. And it gives you some good views over Hadrian's Wall and the route that we're going to be doing today. And what I didn't realise about the Sill is that they've got a youth hostel here. So you can spend the night here, which is a very convenient location to stay if you're doing the Hadrian's Wall path. It's a YHA, but I think non-members can stay as well. So I've got about half a mile to walk from the Sill to the start of the walk, the official start of the walk, which is Rigg car park, which is where I finished my last walk. Not far at all. The Sill is in a place called Twice Brood, which is an interesting name for a village. I heard one story online that the reason it's called Twice Brood is because the landlord saw an opportunity to make extra money and watered down his beer. And when he was discovered, he was forced to brew it again. Don't know if that's true or not, but I quite like that story. Anyway, let's make our way up to Rigg and begin the journey proper. So here we are, back on the Hadrian's Wall path. It's a journey of about 12 miles today, so shorter than the last stage I did, which was about 16, 17 miles. And this route incorporates some of the most iconic parts of Hadrian's Wall path, including Sycamore Gap, sadly without the sycamore tree. We'll see that in just a few minutes. And Housteads Fort. So yeah, let's get on it. Oh, it's a bit muddy underfoot. We've had a lot of rain this year. It's been been dreadful, but it's nice to see the sunshine today. Makes a difference. So all along Hadrian's Wall you have these mall castles, and these not only protected the wall, but also they marked at certain points crossing points, and this is one of those crossing points, so they could cross north of the wall. So here we are at the world famous Sycamore Gap. Sadly, without the tree was destroyed or chopped down last year, and I actually came to this location the day that the tree was chopped down. I made a video. I'll put a link into here so you can watch that video if you're interested. It gives a bit more history about the tree and its importance. But as you can see, they've now fenced it off, the stump, and they are hoping that it will sprout new shoots and that tree will survive, although of course it's going to look very different to how it once did look. They've also taken cuttings and seeds from the original tree, and they're growing those in various locations around the country, and they're going to be planted out. So the tree will survive in some form, but still a sad sight to see it like this. So just having a chat to some guys there, having their photos taken next to the stump of the tree. Again, lots of people still wondering who on earth would chop down such an iconic tree. Sadly, I don't think they'll ever find out. I think it's an impossible task to discover who would have destroyed that tree and why they would have destroyed it. This looks like it's two very new lambs, because you can see what looks like the afterbirth behind the mum, and the lambs themselves are very unsteady on their feet. The mum's just carefully watching me. It's been quite a difficult spring for farmers this year because it's been so wet and so cold. So these lambs are lucky to have a nice bright sunny day. When you walk along Hadrian's Wall, you can't help but marvel at the engineering skill to build this wall, particularly in such a remote location, and just to think about the sheer number of people that must have been involved in constructing this wall. And I think the wall was built within a very short period of time, so thousands and thousands of labourers and people brought here from different parts of the Roman Empire. I often wonder what on earth they thought when they arrived here. It's beautiful here in Cumbria and Northumberland, as I am at the moment, but if you've come from the Mediterranean, you really must have thought you were at the end of the world here, and the weather must have been a shock. Anyway, we're not far now from Housteads, which is one of the main Roman forts along Hadrian's Wall and one of the most impressive ruins that you can visit. So I find these information boards rather interesting. Gives you an idea of what the wall used to look like. So I'm now standing next to this gatehouse there, just come down the hill from Housteads. This is what we have now. This is a little culvert to allow the stream to flow through, as it has done since Roman times. One of the things you notice about Hadrian's Wall is how effective the Romans were at using the landscape and the natural defences that the landscape provided for building the wall. So you have the wall along these high ridges, which would have been very good places to defend if they ever came under attack. So here we are, walking alongside the wall again. It's probably been about an hour since we've seen any real substantial remains of the wall along this section, and I think I've just been able to make out the distant suburbs of Newcastle, distant signs of the suburbs of Newcastle, which is a reminder, an indication that I'm not getting that far to the end of the wall. Well over halfway, only 2 more stages to do after today. This is quite a well preserved section of the wall. Unfortunately, a lot of the stones from the wall were used to build walls and houses and so forth. So that's why there isn't much of Hadrian's Wall actually left to see. But if you look around, you can see the remains of the wall being used or repurposed. It's even in 1 or 2 churches in this area, Roman altars that have been used as stones to build churches. One thing that I think would be really fantastic is if they could reconstruct part of the wall, say a mile section, just to show you what it would have been like, because as far as I know, there's nowhere along Hadrian's Wall that you can actually really properly see what the wall would have looked like when it was originally built. So a mile section, I'm sure there's places along the wall that you could do that. In France, they often seem to do that. They all rebuild ruins, whereas here in the UK, we preserve the ruins, but we don't rebuild them. So not far now. Just down the road and then back to the car. So we've now left behind the high ground of Hadrian's Wall, dropped back down into the Tyne Valley, or drop down into the Tyne Valley more accurately, and into the fields and forests. And the path from here onwards will sort of follow quite closely to the Tyne River and into Newcastle and the end of the path at Wallsend. Here we are at Chester's Roman Fort, just outside Chollerford, down that way. Again, another interesting place to visit along Hadrian's Wall, and it's along here, it's Chester's, that Hadrian's Wall crossed the Tyne River, so the fort was there to protect that important crossing. Finally made it. 12 miles, although my feet are telling me it's longer. And if you've ever seen one of these lawnmowers before, it operates by itself. First time I saw one of these was in Norway. Back where we started the walk, picked the bus up from this spot here, Chollerford Car Sales, and there's a little cafe there, and that's the George Hotel over there, and my car's just over there. But I'm gonna see if I can get down to the river, wash the dog, because she's caked in mud. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, then please do like and subscribe, and until next time, take care, keep safe, God bless.